This is the 10th generation iPad, an entry-level tablet that was released back in 2022. So, how does it hold up now? Let's find out in this review. The iPad 10th generation has an aluminum back, aluminum sides, as well as a glass front. We have two bottom firing speakers, and also in the middle we have a USB-C port. We also have two additional speakers on the top, which makes for a stereo 4-speaker setup. We also have the power button, which doubles as a Touch ID scanner. We also have the volume up and down keys. On the back we have our 12 megapixel camera and our microphone, the Apple logo like always, as well as the word iPad on the bottom. So what are my thoughts on this design? I actually really like it a lot. It's extremely thin, as you can see right here. It's really lightweight, and I also definitely like the fact that this is integrated with Touch ID, the power button. It's a very simple design, but I generally really like it. Overall, absolutely no complaints with this design. This is an IPS LCD panel, which goes up to 500 nits of typical brightness. This is a 1640 by 2360 panel, a 10.9 inch display. So you really can't see any pixels because there's 264 ppi. It's very hard to see any pixels at all. It's only a 60 hertz panel. So how does it look and how do I feel about this display? For the price that this is an amazing display. It has barely any bezels. It's very bright, even in bright daylight, and even though it's only 60 hertz, it feels ridiculously smooth. This big display panel is great for writing notes if you have an Apple Pencil, as well as watching any kind of YouTube or Netflix videos. However, I do have one complaint with this display. When it's completely dim, it doesn't get that dim. So if you're trying to read something late at night, it might be a little bit of a struggle. However, a note, if you turn on night shift, it'll completely change the display into this reading mode. It's a little bit more orange and it makes all the difference. Overall, this is a fantastic display. Have an A14 Bionic chip, as well as 4 gigabytes of RAM. Interesting fact, this iPad is the same Bionic chip that is in the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro series. Well, how does this hold up with games and performance? Well, see for yourself.
Changing mags.
has the lead.
Changing mags!
So as you could tell, the performance was great. Now, obviously, it's not going to be as good as something like the iPad Pro or the iPad Air even, but what I will say is that this is fantastic performance for its price. Complementing this, we got iOS 17, and on the iPad, it's very fluid, it's very smooth, there is no lag or issues that I have encountered. Overall, the performance and the software is fantastic. Yo! So we have a 12 megapixel camera on the back and a 12 megapixel camera on the front. I'm gonna be showing you camera samples throughout the months I've had this iPad. Let me know what you guys think, but I'll also give my own thoughts at the end. This is a back camera video test on the iPad 10th generation. This is 1080p 60 FPS, but the reason I'm doing 1080p 60 FPS and not 4K 60 FPS is because I realized that this video is in 1080p 60 FPS, so it wouldn't really matter if I did set it to 4K, but this is what it looks like. Let me know what you think, but yes, it can go up to 4K 60 FPS. This is a front camera video test. Now the camera's in the middle, which is pretty good, actually. I like that. The camera's in the middle because it doesn't seem like you're off-put or anything like that, so looks pretty good. There is also a very ultra-wide version, and this is what it looks like. It's a bit too ultra-wide for me, honestly, like for selfies or anything like that, but honestly, you're not going to be using the iPad for selfies, so in that case, if you're using it for things like video calls, it's going to be great. Gotta be honest, these cameras are not bad at all. They're basically the equivalent of the iPhone XR. The rear camera is almost an identical copy of it, pretty sure, and also the front camera is pretty great too. Like, let's just think about, like, this is an iPad, so you're not even expecting that good quality for a camera, but honestly, iPhone XR quality on an iPad is totally fine. And also, that front camera, the ultra-wide version, is really wide. It's great for probably video calls, stuff like that, so that's another plus. The video quality is also really, really good. I have no complaints with the video or the audio quality. The audio quality seemed really good as well. Overall, the cameras are solid. Don't expect like iPhone 15 Pro cameras, but they're pretty good. So before the final verdict, I'm going to talk about a few more things. So first of all, the battery. The battery life is only okay. Yes, they did make the iPad very thin, which is definitely a good thing. The bad news is that the battery sort of suffers. Now, I'm not saying it's terrible or anything like that, but it's only as good as an iPhone, and for such a big screen and for such a big display and for something you're probably going to be using on a lot of planes or anything like that, it's definitely going to be a little bit difficult to get through an entire day with this. The estimated amount of screen on time I get is usually between 5 and 6 hours. It's not bad, but it's not great. Another thing is that you generally aren't getting a full desktop experience. I did say that the software was really good, but I didn't really mention that you don't exactly get a desktop experience. If you're wanting a desktop experience, don't get an iPad. So what is my final verdict of this product? Well, to figure that out, I first need to state the price. So the price with this originally was $449. However, this was released in 2022, like I said earlier. As a result, that does mean that the price has gone down since then. Apple themselves is actually selling this iPad for $349, which is a fantastic price. But on eBay, used, you can easily find it for $300 and under. Well, based on that $300 or less price, this is a complete steal. You're not really gonna find any other tablet that's better than this for under 300 bucks. You basically don't have any caveats, even compared to the more expensive models. Obviously, you'll get some less performance, but you can still use the Apple Pencil, you can still play basically any game that you want. So overall, this is 100% a recommendation for me. That's basically it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, and see you guys later.